Hi, welcome to our used music store. How are you doing today? Good, I'm doing fine as well. How can I help you? Yes, actually we just got some new CDs in the other day. Would you like to see them? Okay. First up we have Muse No More Stories album. I believe this came out in 2009, and it's a great album. It's electronic pop almost, but it has a lot of progressive elements to it as well. We also have Anathema's Falling Deeper album, which came out in 2009. It uses a lot of tracks from their previous albums, but they're orchestrated to their new sound. It's very light and orchestral, and it's very nice music, very relaxing. I highly recommend this one. We also have Atom Heart Mother by Pink Floyd. I think this came out in 1970, and there are 5 tracks on it, including the title track, which is a 20-plus minute epic, and Alan's Psychedelic Breakfast, which is about 10 minutes long, and it is a recording of their roadie eating breakfast with music in between sections. It's actually quite interesting and a true testament of its time, in my opinion at least. This is Thrice's The Alchemy Index, Volume 1 and 2. This is a really nice album. It comes with 2 discs. The first one is fire, and the second one is water. And each disc sounds just like the element that it's supposed to represent. Fire is very angry sounding, while water is very serene and flowy. And there are volume 3 and 4 too, but we don't have that in stock right now, sadly. This is Bellum and Goliath by Mars Volta. Now, this is very outlandish music, I guess you could say. It's very over the top and very syncopated and complex. So if you like that kind of music, you would love this. Personally, my favorite song in here is probably, well, couldn't really tell you, they're all really great, but it's about a 70-minute song and very intense. It doesn't really slow down much at all during those 70 minutes. This album is Seeds We Sow by Lindsey Buckingham. You might know Lindsey Buckingham as the guitarist from Fleetwood Mac. He also had a pretty successful solo career. This album came out last year, and it has some beautiful songs on it. When he went in his solo career, he did a lot of more acoustic type of songs where he utilized his unique finger-picking approach, and it's really interesting. If you like acoustic songs, you would love this. Great compositions. This is Frank Zappa's Apostrophe. Of course, Zappa is one of the greats. This is probably personally my favorite album. It has Don't Eat the Yellow Snow, Stinkfoot, Apostrophe, and Cosmic Debris, to name a few of the songs. Zappa, well, he's Zappa. If you haven't heard him, you should definitely check him out. He's definitely one of the best musicians out there, or he was. Sadly, he passed away in the 90s, but his legacy still lives on through his music. Of course, we have Michael Jackson, the Bad album. Not bad in a bad way, of course, that's the name of the album. Although this wasn't as big of a seller as Thriller, I don't believe it still had quite a few radio staples, including Bad, Smooth Criminal, Leave Me Alone, Man in the Mirror, and a few others as well. Every song on this album is great. So if you like Michael Jackson and you haven't heard this album, then you should definitely check it out. Here we have Dire Straits' self-titled debut album. Dire Straits are a great band, great guitar music. This is the Deer Hunters Act 2 album. They currently have the first 3 acts out of, I think it's 6 parts total. This is a great album. Anyone that likes progressive music should check this out. And if you like progressive music, I definitely recommend that you buy it, but that's your decision. And the last CD that we got in recently is Captain Fantastic by Elton John. Again, this is probably one of my favorite Elton John albums. It came out in '75, about 2 albums after Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I think it was the first album to immediately go to #1 on the Billboard charts, so it was quite an achievement. And the critics actually didn't like this album that much, but it's a really great album. It didn't really have that many radio staples, but as an album, it's just incredible. So, those are what we have for CDs right now. Yes, actually, we do have some vinyls. This is Mastodon's Crack the Sky album. This came out in 2009, and it was a bit of a departure from their earlier work, which was more sludge metal, kind of. This is Fleetwood Mac's Rumors album. Personally, it's my all-time favorite album. Pretty much almost every song here was a popular hit on the radio, and still is popular. There's a great story behind this album. Pretty much everyone in the band was going through some kind of personal relationship crisis. Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks had just broken up, and Christine McVie and her husband John had just recently got divorced. And I believe the same thing with Mick Fleetwood. He was also getting divorced at the time. So, it's a very sad album, but one of the best, definitely. This is Yes's Fragile album. Not too sure the year, I think it was 71. But it has their biggest hit, or one of them at least, Roundabout, as well as Heart of the Sunrise, South Side of the Sky, and Long Distance Runaround. It's a great album. Anyone that likes 70s progressive rock should check this out if they haven't already. This is Billy Joel's The Stranger album. Another album that had a lot of radio hits. Moving Out, Vienna, The Scenes from an Italian Restaurant. Lots of great stuff on here. Definitely one of the best albums to come out of the 70s in my opinion. Rush. We got Rush. Who doesn't love Rush? Well, maybe you don't, but maybe you know someone who does. This is 2112, where the first side of the record is this one conceptual piece that runs about 21 minutes long, I think, or 22. And the second side of the disc is, I think, 5 different songs. And this came at a really critical point in their career where it could have been their last album, but it did really well and kept them going. Here we have The Wall by Pink Floyd. Of course, it has Another Brick in the Wall, Comfortably Numb, Hey You, and a lot of great songs, really. It's a beautiful gatefold. Here we have 2 Genesis albums. We have the Peter Gabriel-led Genesis album, Nursery Cry, and the Phil Collins-led Genesis, Duke. Personally, I think the Gabriel era was a bit better, but Duke is probably one of the best albums to come out of the 80s. It's very sad, and all of the songs are beautifully composed, but Nursery Crying is much more progressive, so fans of progressive music will probably prefer this over Duke, but they're both great albums in their own right. And we have 2 more. This is Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie. Probably his best known album. And we also have Emerson, Lake and Palmer Trilogy. Another great album from the progressive rock scene in the 70s. Can I help you with anything else? Would you like to see anything else we have? Actually, we currently have 2 deluxe sets for albums. The first one is this. This is really, really beautiful. This is Steven Wilson's Grace for Drowning album, and it comes in this, I believe it's 120-page hardbound book. There are 4 discs. The first 2 are the actual album itself, and then the second 2, the first is a bonus album that has outtakes, and the 4th one is a Blu-ray disc that has the whole album in 5.1 as well as some music videos. It includes a lot of beautiful artwork in high quality print. There was a lot of care and a lot of work that went into making this, and it came out beautifully in my opinion. Steve Wilson does a lot of deluxe packaging like this for his albums, and they're always really well done. They're a little bit expensive, but completely worth it in my opinion. And the other one we have is another Steve Wilson crafted box set, where, well, he partook in this one at least. In the Court of the Crimson King by King Crimson. And this is a 5-disc set with a few different versions of the album. You have the 2009 stereo mix by Steve Wilson, the original mix, the 2004 master. You have a couple of different alternate versions and outtakes, as well as some live performances from this era. And it comes with a DVD that has 5.1 versions of the album and a couple of videos as well. And that's a really great set. So, have you seen anything you like? Okay, you wanted the Elton John album? Okay. We have that. Put that aside for you. What else would you like? Okay. We have the Michael Jackson album. And what was the other thing? Okay. Anathema. This is a really great one. I like to fall asleep to this one a lot. It's very peaceful. And would you like any vinyls today? Okay. Just to let you know, the store next door to us sells turntables, so if you don't have one, you can get one there for a relatively low price. And just one today you want to start off with? Alright. Rumors, yeah, that's a great album. I think you'll really like this one. Is there anything else you'd like today? No? Okay. Let me just get this all set for you. Alright, here you go. Alright. Thank you. Thank you for shopping with us. I hope you really enjoyed these albums. You picked out some great ones. And we hope to see you again soon. Bye.